Y'all want to know a story? So, 2 months ago in October, Galaxy 1 and 2 got re-released on Switch, right? You know, that's kind of a big deal for the Galaxy 1 and 2 speedrunning community. Now, I used to be a part of the community. I'm still in the server, but I'm not as involved because I don't really run the games anymore. But I have been monitoring discussions about what they're doing with Remastered. They came up with something with Galaxy 1 Remastered. For some reason, it took them so long to start voting on whether or not Galaxy 1 and 2 should have their own leaderboard, even though like people were already starting to do runs on Remastered. Now, it's already confirmed that Galaxy 1 and 2 Remastered are much slower than the original games, but for some reason they haven't decided whether or not there should be a leaderboard, a separate leaderboard. So a poll opened for Galaxy 1 on whether Remastered should be its own leaderboard, its own category, and then it got majorly voted that Galaxy 1 Remastered will not have its own leaderboard, nor will it be its own category, which to me makes no sense. Now I get like the gameplay is exactly the same and such, it's just that with like, you know, significantly slower loads, but like longer credits, so it makes the 100% category for Galaxy 1 like longer. I don't know, man. I feel like different versions should be on different categories for people to compete on even playing field with each other. For some reason, on the Galaxy leaderboard, All-Stars version and Wii version are on the same leaderboard. I don't know why. I get that, you know, Galaxy 1 on All-Stars plays identical to the Wii version, but I feel like Galaxy 1 on All-Stars should be on the All-Stars leaderboard. There is a leaderboard for All-Stars. However, for some reason, Galaxy 1 on 3D All-Stars, their runs are on the Galaxy 1 leaderboard. It doesn't make sense to me, but I feel like if I was the one in charge, then I would prefer that Galaxy 1 runs on 3D All-Stars should be on the 3D All-Stars leaderboard, but whatever. And ever since they put 3D All-Stars on the Galaxy 1 leaderboard, there's not very much activity with Wii version runs. Because like they determined that 3D All-Stars is faster, and because of that, more people who want to run Galaxy, they play on 3D All-Stars. Which again, I don't really agree with that idea, but whatever. That part is not really that big of a deal. And Galaxy 1 Remastered not being its own category or its own leaderboard, whatever, man. I would prefer it being its own thing. That way it's fair for people who don't have access to 3D All-Stars, because 3D All-Stars is delisted, by the way. If you're a new runner of Galaxy and you aspire to compete on Galaxy 1, you can't get 3D All-Stars, even if it's faster, and if it's on the same leaderboard as Wii version Galaxy. So you're just left with getting the Wii version Galaxy. Now for Galaxy 2, on the other hand, this is the first time that Galaxy 2 has ever seen a re-release, so... Now, what they did with Galaxy 2 is very unfortunate, in the sense that, no bank toad. So if you're running 100%, which is 242, where you have to grind 9999 star bits, you have to spend an hour grinding. And so they recently held a poll as to whether or not Galaxy 2 Remastered should fall under the similar situation as Galaxy 1. If they choose to do what they did with Galaxy 1, that's going to be a huge problem for people who are just getting into Galaxy 2 and aspire to compete at a high level at 242. And by the way, not having bank toad is already slower, as even in the 71 star category. So you're already at a disadvantage if they decide not to separate the versions. I really want them to make the right choice, because for Galaxy 2 specifically, it kind of deserves to be its own thing. Yes, it does lose a lot of time. Like, here's the thing, Remastered actually has an advantage on the Green Star section, because you can actually skip cutscenes in Green Stars, but it doesn't matter because you literally lose an hour for being forced to grind. While I have a little bit of a problem of them not separating Remastered, 3D All-Stars, and Wii all in separate leaderboards, I have a bigger problem with them not doing that with Galaxy 2 Remastered. The poll is still ongoing, by the way. How much slower is Galaxy 1 Remastered? I don't know off the top of my head, but we do know that Galaxy 1 Remastered has slower loads. And also, the credits are longer. Also, in addition to needing to grind in Galaxy 2, the credits are also longer in